You know, of all the things that got imported to Japan, I always thought this was one of the weirdest. Crash test dummies from Tycho, and these were literally just imported. Same figures, no change, same package artwork, but all in Japanese. Isn't that awesome? And I picked these up in Japan a number of years ago. And I thought the crash test dummy people would be really, really excited about this. And this is more of Tycho, and I believe it was, oh my God, I can't remember the toy company in Japan that produced Dino Riders in Japan was like, hey, got anything else? And this is like more of a collaboration between those two companies. But all the collectors in the crash test dummy world. No, we're okay. We don't need that. I tried selling this thing for $30 years ago, and nobody cared. I thought that was insane. I just pulled them all back and just threw them in a corner, and that was it. It is strange, the collector market. It's really hard to tell at times what the group of collectors from that franchise really cares about. So if that was a Japanese piece for Mighty Max, they're all excited. If it's for Crash Test Dummies, they're like, we don't care, guy. Just move on. But we have more stuff. We are digging a hole, and I begin to suspect I like to make that little pathway, but we'll do that a little bit later. We'll just formulate it ourselves. But we need to deal with things. I hate having things against the window right there. I need these. And of course, people are going to be walking their dogs, driving by, and they're going to look at my house and be like, why does this guy have cardboard and styrofoam blocking up the windows? I mean, literally, I am prepared for this. And they'd be like, what kind of crap is going down in this place? Like, is it a sex dungeon? Is it a crack house? You know what? Honestly, if it was a sex dungeon or a crack house, at least this would be clean. This would all be dealt with, and you'd walk in and it'd be like, wow, there's some open space here. We can clean this up pretty good. You know? Isn't that just a strange thought? That being said, let's continue on making this place clean and organized after all this time. We got a lot of Power Ranger stuff in the mail coming to this house, and we need the space for it because I spent a little too much money. I couldn't control myself, and actually I should have spent more money, to be honest with you. Here we go. Brought to you by Starlight. Well, look what we have here. This is a wonderful group of toys. Let's see what we got cooking here. So we have Fistful of Power. Absolutely love this line. At this time, Spin Master, Moose, they were really trying to crank out the miniature figures. There wasn't that many being produced at that point, but of course nowadays you're everywhere. I mean, I cannot even start to fathom to collect mini monster figures and everything. I just have to keep the basics, trash bag bunch, monster in my pocket. All this kind of just flows into each other. And this was a great line. So who do we have in here? We have a combat handbook. And we have two painted. I believe these uncommon, but if you opened up this box set, you would get them. So nothing unique in there. Probably just gonna let this one go. I should have all three of these sealed, and I should have like all. They were blowing these little miniature wonderful figures out at the end, of course, like at the end. No, at the beginning, of course, at the end of this line at the toy stores. And a friend and I, we went to like so many Targets and Walmarts. We bought so many of these in 2-packs and 5-packs, and we tore them all open, hoping for the rare figures. And I had like a couple gallon bags of just spare figures, and I thought I got rid of them. They're worth nothing, but it was just like, that's a little too much. There is a series 2, and they're much more harder to find. I have none of those. And they themselves also had a very rare exclusive figure, as shown here for series 1. And this was Shiar. I'm going to butcher this one. Alex, correct me on the editing. This figure was gold plated. Europe had their own limited edition version. The US had their own limited edition version. Then they had different little jewels in each of the wings, like you can get red or green. You get the idea. the odds of getting one is insane. But lo and behold, because eBay is eBay, somebody just showed up like, this many moons ago, like early 2000s, mid 2000s. They just had tons of him. I mean, okay, not tons, like 20 to 30 of the figure, and they're selling them little baggies, like they're excess factory stock. And I picked one up, so like, yay for me. But yeah, Series 2 version, I believe it's an owl, and he goes for good buku money, or hoo-hoo money, if you're an owl. But yeah, definitely need to collect more of this. This is when the time arrives. We have SPD Emergency. You have Sid, and we have Z Delgado. These are the SWAT version. This is the second mode in the series when they armor up, power up. So they're a little more uncommon. Bandai always issued the female figures in less numbers, and you can look at these figures compared to the three previous of green, blue, and red. Those three, the male figures, they'll actually talk and say commands out loud. But when it came to the female figures, there was no phrases right there. That's the key word I need to remember. Phrases. The girls just made action sounds, but the tags are there, so I'm not going to pull them apart. It's kind of sad that they're getting slightly tinted already to showing their age, and that makes me just depressed on that note. I like this stuff a lot. I'm a big SPD fan on general, so I spied a little bit the tubs back there. We got a lot more SPD. So I'm going to put these aside for now, but we're going to probably have so much SPD extra stuff. I can't wait to make the space and get rid of these duplicates. The market's kind of up on these, then they go back down, then they go back. Nobody even cares about mint condition with Power Ranger collectors yet, it's been more than a hot, cool second of a decade, right? You'd think with the trajectory of collectibles for action figures or cards or anything, that when these figures from 2007 have hit the period we're at now, people would be like, oh my god, your package is really, really, really mint. We will pay you a premium. No, they don't. They don't care. They don't care. I go on eBay and they're like, well, one guy has one for $5 cheaper than yours. I go to that guy's auction. I'm like, what do you want to do with it? I just want to open it. See? Like, that's how the world is. Oh, got more. Fistful of power. So we are on a Yamato kick. What is cooking here? Okay. We got a lot of stuff here. So I told you guys I had some Shinron Depot. Shiro Depot. Loose ones I opened up. So this is Series 1 of Intron by Shirow. That's just, nobody cares. Like, there was a point in the early 2000s where you thought keeping packages of toys you open, the backer cards, would be collected. Like, that's just how vintage toys are. People love the backer cards for He-Man, GoBot, Star Wars, Transformers, and then you're like, well, man, and of course nobody cares. We have Macross Collection Part 2. So I can't resist myself with Macross stuff, and these were great. Oh my god, that was the pilot in the Veritech. That was so over the top well done. Anyone in here? I think they're all been separated out. Yeah, they're just empty boxes. Series painted. Oh my god. And we had a huge dilemma with a lot of the toys being produced like this in the early 2000s, and is it still continue to this day? Probably, where you just wanted the painted figure. Please, just give me a painted figure. But instead they'll have like the clear version or the stone colored version, and whenever you got those, you got shit on. So we have more Intron Depot Series 3, and those are going to be much tougher in general, but we also have 2004 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive repaints. Pretty exciting, I know. Does anyone remember that there were exclusives from San Diego Comic-Con for these? Probably not. I was surprised to find that the Dominion Tank Police PVC figures from the previous video, some of them had value. I was a little surprised on that. So I think it's possible there's going to be a few collectors out there who are like, could be pretty excited for these. And that's fine. These are, again, wonderful. The artwork of Shirow is amazing. He is the creator of Dominion Tank Police, Ghost in the Shell. If you've seen the artwork, you know. But having these figures, it's let's just put it this way. For these things, having a couple figures is fine loose. There's nothing special about having these packaged. There's no special artwork. It's just repeating over and over. So I'm going to let these go. There's nothing, calling home about these. You can get these loose all day long. Let's see. I'm trying to choose them a little more wisely. Was I correct? Was that correct? So we have not much of a repaint, to be honest with you. Like, oh, the red and white and the orange been changed. I mean, if you think about it, there's not much you really can change on some of these figures. But they could be good money. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Oh my lord. Look at my... I am clearly having an issue with Shirow. And when I was buying these are probably retailed at like 10, 15, well, not 15, by like $8 to $10 each. And I think I just went to, as I said earlier, a Comic-Con, and a guy had them for $4 each. And you're like, I'll take one of each. They couldn't even bother to put the sticker on correctly. This must have been like some drunk late at night, the day before the show, crying with a bottle of whiskey, and his only job is to apply these stickers for Yamato on these things. Please, help me. Yeah, let's see that. That was a better recolor. Yeah, let this stuff go. I don't think I should show every Shinron. There we go. We got another cat girl from Dominion Tank Police. Her name is Glenn. I just can't even say that name with like a passion behind it if you love her. Glenn. Sean, I just saw Sean. The most feminine names out there. I mean, I'd rather take M66 to call the girl than Sean. That's funny. But yeah, we can let a lot of this stuff go. It's all good, man. It's all good. Here we go. We have... there's Sean. How you doing, Sean? A lot of this can find new home. I'll probably keep the cat girl since I'm getting rid of so much. Her arm is falling off. I mean, so these were pretty much just Japanese Gashapon figures, most likely, that they issued on the card in the West. That's pretty much it. They already made these. They're like, we can make some money. I haven't seen them in Japan, though, so I could be wrong. Here's Series 2. I am really curious what the market is on these things. They might have good value. Mew Mew. That's a... Geez. Maple. Karamite, Fiona. Yeah, these are more normal names, And I don't think I have any... Oh, there are a couple repaints, but I don't think they're anything exclusive. But yeah, this Shinron... I keep wanting to call him Shinron for some reason. We will now rename him Shinron Omega. Girls will fall to their knees when your name is announced as Shinron Omega. He was huge, and he still is huge, but they were making everything from just variety of art books and miniature figures and little animes and stuff. He was king of the roost in the early mid-2000s. So we're just going to kind of move on for this. If you have interest in his art books and his art style, there's tons of that stuff out there. Literally, this bag should be worth money now. Look at this. Suncoast Video. Look at that. The store for movie lovers. They're all gone. We have now Beast Machines. These were the nicer Beast Machines. These were the more uncommon. So when they had the animated series, well, CGI, they have the characters preset and all the toy sculpts have to go with that prerequisite. They can't really alter it. But the Battle Unicorn I believe GeckoBot finally did show up in the series, did he? They got freedom to make their own toys at Hasbro and Takara. So they're like balls of the wall, a unicorn. That was awesome. I wish he was in the series. I personally did not like this series and stopped watching it midway. But these were beautifully done figures. Oh my god, this whole tub was just shit. I didn't want to show it. Series 3. There's just so many. And I have more Comic-Con exclusives. I am very curious what this is worth. I can let go of so much of this now. This whole tub can go. I know, pretty exciting, right? Yep, $4. There you go, right down there. So this is a short, quick video. I am amused with myself, but it's just when you have the money and you're running around Comic-Con and people are just blowing stuff out, you're just like, yeah, I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that, and this is what happens. You just have tons and tons of stuff. So, yeah. Isn't it crazy that I can actually look at the Sterlite tub and know it's an older model because I am an aficionado of Sterlite tubs now? There has to be like a Sterlite tub museum out there. And the guy is just an expert just like I am. He's like, oh my god, we don't have this model from the mid-2000s. Please, we need this for the museum. Because there's collectors of everything out there. You guys know that. So there's gotta be. So I'm going to research that before this video ends. I'm going to figure out if somebody collects Sterlite tubs with a passion. There has to be. So that was a short video. We need to get a better video up because I don't think there's too many people who are going to be excited for Shirow little miniature anime girl figures. We need more vintage 80s and 90s hardcore. Until next time.